Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is May 6, 2019. I'm back in the studio, people, and give a shout out to my man Coco from the Webbot room, from his room, from the trading room. This guy's a huge supporter of Crypto Blood, and he's always sending me good pasta from France, and always sending me good hip-hop joints to play. He's a big hip-hop head out there in France. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for all the support, Coco. He wanted to hear Nas, Affirmative Action. I think Foxy Brown is on this joint too. I haven't heard this in forever. So again, thank you for that. I have definitely pinned that one to put in my playlist. This is why I love having people send me song requests. They send me songs that I totally forgot about, man, and this is definitely one. What's good, people? Hope you guys are doing well on this Monday, and welcome to another episode. Today we are going to look at three things here, one being the quick pick, and that is about Fidelity. They are, it says, weeks away from launching their crypto trading platform. I know you guys probably remember me reporting on them actually announcing that they were going to be doing this many months ago, maybe about 6 or 7 months ago. So it looks like they are weeks away. You guys gotta definitely let me know, who do you think this is going to do to the price of Bitcoin? Or will the bears absorb any buying pressure that we may see initially? I think over time this is definitely bullish for Bitcoin, but just out of the gate, I don't think so. I don't think they have people piling up at Fidelity looking to buy Bitcoin. Those individuals have already bought through Kraken, Coinbase, etc., etc. So the actual first article that we will look at, though, is about this inflation bug that many nodes out there in the Bitcoin network is still vulnerable to, and really is one of the they call it an inflation bug, but really what that means, people, is that people can double spend. And double spending essentially means I can send whatever amount of Bitcoin I have in a wallet from my wallet to another address, but also send it to a second address simultaneously. So that's double spending. That's printing more Bitcoin, and that is, man, essentially what's going on with this bug. Ironically enough, the Bitcoin Cash development team were the ones who found it. Looks like 60% of the nodes still have not been updated. So I don't know. We'll take a look at this article and see what's going on here. This is crazy. Maybe that's partially why price has been so low, because people have been able to double spend. I don't know. We'll take a look at the article. Second article is about Craig Wright. More news about this guy. So looks like his card is being pulled, people. The court case in which Craig Wright is involved in regards to Dave Kleiman, the late Dave Kleiman, who Craig Wright knew as a friend. His family has been in litigation with Craig Wright for years now, because they're saying that Craig Wright actually took billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin from this guy, either after he died or right before. So now it looks like the court is ordering him, Craig Wright, to produce documentation detailing the formation and administration of this blind trust that was set up, that supposedly the Bitcoin has been assigned to. Craig Wright definitely is a fraud, a sneaky one at least, and he's surely not Satoshi, because he doesn't even know how to code, man. I don't know why people still think he's Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't think Satoshi Nakamoto is one person. I think it's a group of people, but all of those individuals have some level of technical skill sets. Either it be just a direct computer science or cryptography, one of the two, and he has neither. But we'll take a look at this court case and see what's going on with that. But first, let's check out this heat map. We're up almost 1% on Bitcoin. That's not telling the whole story though, because we were down pretty decently earlier today. This is from Coin360. I think the market cap is currently at 184 billion, and Bitcoin's dominance is at roughly 55%. So it's creeping up higher and higher. Ethereum is up 8.7% today. That's a big move. EOS up 1.6%, and Litecoin up 0.4%. I think ETH may be up on the rumors of a Ethereum futures market coming online. Maybe I'll cover that tomorrow. ETH is turning into just another speculative asset. Here's the thing that people don't understand about Ethereum. From the research that I've done, is that when Ethereum moves over to proof of stake, and the whole Casper thing and all of those upgrades they're doing, when it's all fully fleshed out, you won't even need to use Ethereum to move tokens around on the network. From my understanding, you will be able to use any token, any ERC20 token, to move or pay for gas. So we'll have to see what happens, man. But that's probably why that pop happened with Ethereum. Let's take a look at this quick pick article of the day out of CCN. And again, it's about this $7 trillion asset giant Fidelity to launch trading with crypto within weeks. It says here, Fidelity says its cryptocurrency trading product is aimed at institutional traders and will initially focus on Bitcoin, Fidelity spokesperson Arlene Roberts said. And they've been teasing this product since October of 2018 when it revealed plans for an over-the-counter trading platform. And in January, guys, a follow-up blog post, they talked about that it was in its final testing phases and rolling out plans for risk and compliance. So yeah, I mean, this is like I said, when this launches in a couple of weeks, in my opinion, you guys let me know what your thoughts are. In a couple of weeks, it's not going to make a big difference. What is going to make a big difference is the long-term trail of the demand pushing the price of Bitcoin up as less coins are being produced. We got a halving coming up soon, so those are recipes for a much higher price of Bitcoin in the next 5 years. 100,000 is, I can see, definitely in play within the next 5 years. Because see, what this does is, with Fidelity and with NYSE kind of coming on board or trying to get their thing rolled out, what this does is it kind of builds the channels for your traditional institutional funds to flow in a very seamless way. What I mean by that is, I'm talking about, you know, hedge funds, I'm talking about family offices. Even 1% of AUM that is a lot of money. That takes us, even at 1%, I would venture to say near 50,000 or higher in Bitcoin. So this is definitely good. This is definitely good. I just hope they're actually buying the Bitcoin. And really, this is probably more so for baby boomers and late Gen Xers maybe. But millennials and younger, they're going to be able to buy and hold their cryptos themselves. They're tech savvy enough, and I don't think this will be necessarily for them. Remember, if you don't hold those private keys, you don't own anything. You don't own anything. So the first article for today is about Craig Wright being ordered to provide Bitcoin ownership records. So it says here, last week, CoinSpeaker wrote about how, among all the lawsuits with which he showered his opponents, that Craig Wright is under one as well, and it's a multi-billion-dollar bid. Now the United States District Court of the Southern District of Florida issued an order on May 3rd requiring self-proclaimed Satoshi Nakamoto, Craig Wright, to produce a list of his public Bitcoin addresses. The court ordered in this case of the estate of David Klayman versus Craig Wright was in response to following requests from the Klayman estate. The spontaneous order means that the court is not moved by Wright's argument that he cannot obtain the information which he claims is controlled by a blind trust. My God. As a result, the court required that on or by May 15, 2019 at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Dr. Craig Wright shall produce all transactional records of the blind trust, including but not limited to any records reflecting the transfer of Bitcoin into that trust in or about 2011. Production shall be accompanied by a sworn declaration of authenticity. Wright added that to produce a list of his Bitcoin holdings would be unduly burdensome. However, the same is not supported by facts, states the order. The court documents say that, in essence, he does not argue undue burden, he argues impossibility. The argument that Dr. Wright is incapable of providing an accurate listing of his current and historical Bitcoin holdings was never presented in any of the prior hearings before this court when the court was crafting the scope of discovery. Someone would think that if he is real Satoshi Nakamoto, Wright would provide us with proof in a blink of an eye. And so I knew that Craig Wright was suing like Roger Ver, and I think he even went after my man Max Kaiser, hitting people with different lawsuits for defamation of character, assumingly. But I didn't know that he actually sued or sent a request to Vitalik Buterin as well. That is crazy. This guy is off his rocker, people. I don't know what crypto does to people, but it makes them crazy. It definitely makes them crazy. So we'll see what happens. He's got till May 15th. So we're only what 9 days away. Let's see what happens, people. You guys let me know your thoughts about this article, and do you think he'll actually produce that documentation? I highly doubt it. If I was a betting man, I would put it all on the fact that he wouldn't. So let's see what happens, and we'll see what news comes of that after the 15th. The next article, though, is about Bitcoin and the 60% of nodes, full nodes at that are still vulnerable to the inflation bug. And I told you guys, they put that in a nice way. It just means printing more Bitcoin than actually is in circulation. So double spending is what it's called. And it says, according to Bitcoin node stats reported on the website of Bitcoin core developer Luke Dasher, 60.22% of the coin's full nodes are running software still vulnerable to the inflation bug at press time. According to the reported data, the software running on 60,000 nodes, full nodes at that, is vulnerable to the CVE 2018-17144 bug, as Cointelegraph reported at the end of September of last year, and I talked about that as well when that came out. The bug allows malicious miners to artificially inflate Bitcoin's supply via a simple type of double input, according to a Cointelegraph analysis at the time, likely because of the possible catastrophic consequences of the presence of the bug. The developers decided to keep it a secret and only reveal that the bug made the network vulnerable to distributed denial of service attacks. The developers disclosed the full danger of the vulnerability at a later time after it had been already fixed. So yeah, that's what I kind of reported on at that particular time, is that they kept it a secret for a while, like for a couple of years. And when they did come out with it, they had already fixed it. But just because it's been fixed doesn't mean that all of the full nodes have updated the actual software. And that's the problem with these fully decentralized type of networks and architectures. Once it hits critical mass and it gets too big, it's almost impossible to update and make software updates from that. Then you have to start going a layer above and layer above that and so on and so forth. That's why we should try to get layer 1 as tight as possible, or layer 0 as tight as possible. But anyway, the website also claimed that there are 99,000 Bitcoin full nodes currently running at press time, a number about 10 times higher than that reported by most Bitcoin analyst platforms. For instance, BitNotes claims that there are now 9,500 full Bitcoin nodes, while CoinDance reports that there are only 9,300 running nodes. That's a big difference. Technology news outlets The Next Web cited Luke as previously explaining that this discrepancy is actually due to the fact that most such platforms only include listening full nodes. Still, according to the report, whether a node is listening or not, it is most likely irrelevant technical detail. A consequence of a node listening is that it is more visible and easier to find. Luke reportedly explained the economic nodes, those handling transactions, can be both listening and not. He said, frankly, just looking at listening nodes isn't a very useful metric. Non-listening nodes are just as relevant. Luke's chart of Bitcoin nodes is based on 4 weeks of data and is updated hourly. So wow, this is interesting, people. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that this double spin bug is maybe a reason why we still see Bitcoin so suppressed in price? Is there an oversupply of Bitcoin coins because they have people out there exploiting this? It's a possibility. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. You guys, again, let me know your thoughts about this. I'll leave a link to this article. And it's really nothing that the court team can do, because you can't force people to update their nodes. Only way to fix this would to be do a fork. And I don't know if this bug is present on Bitcoin Cash or not. If it's not, then that holds even a better case, a bigger case for Bitcoin Cash possibly being the right Bitcoin. I don't know. Always got to keep doing your research, people, and keep your mind open. But this is I'm surprised that still 60% of those nodes are still running that old software. And I reported on this bug when it came out. It was very important to know about, and I did let you guys know about this situation. But again, I am so surprised that still 60% are running it. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today, ladies and gents. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to support this channel. Shout out to my man Coco in the web bot. And that's it. That's my 2 Satoshis for May 6th, 2019. I'm out of here, people. Holla.